Look, honestly speaking, when we started off Juicy Chemistry, we didn't expect to come along this far for sure. The idea was in our heads very small at that point in time because it was a problem that we were looking to solve for ourselves for our own personal use because of a problem that we encountered when Mega was looking to switch to natural and organic. So what we found at the back of the label was anything but natural. But the front of the label claimed hibiscus, amla, neem, and coconut. The back of the label was still hushing a lot of petrochemicals, parabens, sulfates, fillers, preservatives, artificial colors, and synthetics and whatnot. And this was across different categories. So when we thought that we should solve for this, we were actually solving it for ourselves with literally 5,000 rupees in our pocket and a vision to differently see skin and hair care uh, outside of all the greenwashing that was already there in the market. So when we looked at getting into this line, there were hardly few brands around the world attempting what we were doing. So we had to actually unlearn a lot of things before we could learn, how to get into the skin and personal care industry. So it's definitely been a journey. It's not what we envisioned when we started off, but what did happen was that we evolved very quickly along the way. I think if you look at it from a zoomed out lens, Suryati, if you it's a combination of all of these things together. I think all of them are absolutely necessary for a brand to achieve its scale. Starting with, say, customer retention, right? You can only sell the product to the consumer once, and especially where it is towards the most expensive real estate, that's face and hair. The customer only gives you a chance once to try the product. But if you disappoint them, then there's a very rare chance of them coming back. So at the end of the day, the product is at the centric of everything that we do. And we've invested a lot of money, R&D, resources over the years to build a brand that is centered around consumers and the concerns that they are facing, right? So for us, it's always been owning the back end, because like I said, there are hardly few players, and the globally handful of players do the kind of work that we do, and hence we had to reinvent everything ourselves. And because of that, product and R&D has been the center of everything. As a result of that, owning the product in house, as a result of that, what's happened is the industry generally experiences about a 25 to 30% retention in terms of numbers, but Juicy Chemistry has always been north of 55% year on year at a repeat customer cohort, which is extremely good given the fact that I think, surprisingly, in the last few quarters or few years, if you may put it that way, we've seen body care category outgrow our expectations to quite a certain extent. Because, earlier, consumers were very focused on either face, and second was hair for us. But, body was always given a stepmotherly treatment first. The most important thing that I'm looking to invest is in face and hair. But over the last couple of years, we've seen body care category, do exceedingly well. Body mists, perfumes, deodorants, our cold processed soaps, body scrubs, and other such products, moisturizers have really, picked up. Sunscreens, for that matter, have really also helped, push those numbers higher. So surprisingly enough, body care category has really caught up really well. The skinification. Last year has been a phenomenal year for us. We've expanded drastically, both online and offline. Offline slightly more because touch points have obviously increased from just a mere 110 to about 400. I think it's just now we are over 500 touch points across offline stores. So we've grown at close to 100% from last year. With our margins improving, with our product category, more consolidated product category. We are going more deeper than we are going wider. So we have a lot more control on our supply chain. in these very difficult times where global supply chains have been affected quite drastically over the last a year or so. We made sure that we have a consolidated product line which ensures constant supply of ingredients, which then help us as a base on which we can build on in terms of depth into the categories that we are in. Plus, um, you know our digital presence has improved quite a lot. We've been on different platforms. We've expanded outside of India as well as a business model where UAE, US, European Union, Australia, Sri Lanka, Middle Eastern regions, and Southeast Asian regions like Malaysia and Singapore have also started evolving as good numbers for us. So truly global expansion is definitely on the cards for us, and it's doing well. It's a business category that's actually bringing in about close to 8% to 10% of the revenue in the last year. So we see that as a huge potential for growth. We invest, like I said, we invest a lot in R&D, are constantly trying, testing new collaborations in the world of technology, in the world of R&D, collaborating with companies around the world, Spain, Switzerland, Australia. We worked with brands in the US who are creating such wonderful plant actives which are clinically proven, approved by Cosmos. Those ingredients keep coming to us. We keep collaborating with them. They keep asking us for newer ways to incorporate it, either in a leave-in format or a rinse-off product, in a hair care category or a body care category. So we keep constantly working on products that are requested by the consumers. A couple of products that we are currently working on are serums that are in the brow and lash growth category. That's an exclusive. We've not yet revealed more of this. It's a background work that's happening at this point in time, and we are very, very happy to see the initial results of those products. We are also working with makeup removal as a category. We are working as a double cleansing oil, which is again a phenomenal product, great for sensitive skin, Cosmos approved, and almost ready for launch. So we are working on expanding our line and also improving the kind of products that we already have and building on top of the base that we have already created. A year-by-year plan rather than a 5-year plan, because a lot of things tend to change. Because we don't want to get bogged down by the kind of expectations that we put onto ourselves, because we have set very high standards for ourselves as far as product innovation, growth, and customer service, and so many parameters that we are concerned. But I think Juicy Chemistry's evolution in the next 5 years, in our minds, looks very clear. We are going to be a product company first. We are going to be innovators in the organic skin and personal care space. We are going to double down on the kind of work that we have already done. We've launched many industry firsts in India. It may be cellular extracts, maybe certified organic serums, certified organic makeup, the first certified organic sunscreen, facial oils. And we've set benchmarks with so many of our formulations, and I'm sure in the future, as the skin and hair care evolves, newer ingredients come to the foray, newer research and development happens into tapping of the science of these ingredients. I think we will be there in the forefront to work with these ingredients. We've always been trendsetters in the industry. For example, rosemary became